let me tell you right off the bat, this podcast is going to be off the rails. Absolutely insane. Because I don't even know if I'm recording. Are we recording? I don't know. I'm talking to a machine. This machine is a microphone. It talks to a box over there. The box then talks to the computer. There's another machine right in front of me, a camera. This camera has to figure out what I'm doing, how I'm moving, and then we mash all that together, and you got a video podcast. Do you realize I don't know how to make any of those? I don't know how any of that works at all. Do you? I bet you don't. I don't know why you're looking at me or listening to me and thinking I'm an idiot. How's your camera work? How's the computer work? How's the internet work? How is this machine transmitting sound into your ears right now? Do you know? You don't. So I'm not stupid. You're stupid. I'm just playing. We're probably both stupid. Maybe you know. I don't know. How does a candle work? How's a suitcase work? I can't build clothes. I can't build clothes. I can't make clothes. If you gave me a giant piece of cloth and said, make me some clothes right now, you have 10 minutes. Here's some scissors and some tape. Make me a shirt. I wouldn't be able to do it at all. It would be the worst shirt ever. I would cut a hole. I would cut a hole in the top, right? And then you put that on your head. And then now that you've got that over, okay, all right, it's just a poncho. Is that a poncho? I could make a poncho. So I can make clothes. And then I just decorate it. So I can make clothes. All right. So don't feel special because I can make a poncho. What's going on? How are you guys and girls? Equal representation here at Golarami, because that's what society is about. We're trying to sort ourselves out right now. That's pretty much what we're trying to do. We're making some overcorrections in some places. That's a subject for a whole nother day. I just want to start off by saying thank you to Rode, the sponsor of this podcast, because their microphones are the best microphones of all time. And I don't think you guys know this. I'm not being paid to say that at all. It's just over the last 3 or 4 years, we have used 20 different microphone companies. None of them are as good as Rode. Everybody's stuff is going to break down. All electronic things break down. We've already established that none of us know how they work. I bet you they don't even know how they work. They just keep putting them together and they just hope that it works and they send them out and then a bunch of them don't work and they send them back. Okay. Long story short, Rode has some good shit. They have the best shit and you should check it out. So if you're on YouTube, just go right down below. Otherwise, you probably think it sounds like Rode. If you're just listening to this, it sounds like Rode, R-O-A-D. I can spell, right? R-O-A-D. Is there another word? Yeah, there's R-H-O-D-E, right? Isn't that road? Some sort of Greek thing? I don't know. I didn't do geography in college. When did I stop doing history? I don't think I took a history class in college. I didn't have to. You know, one of the most annoying things that went on in college for me was the fact that they wouldn't let me take 2 languages. My advisor. So I don't know how it works. Some of you guys are from all over the world, or from outside the US. Okay. It's a better way to say that. And when you go to college, they give you an academic advisor. And this advisor is supposed to help guide you on your path, right? To academic supremacy. Make sure that your life is going the way that it wants. Well, when I got there, I had to take a test. You have to take this assessment test, right? So I take this assessment test, and it was a lady. She's probably in her mid-40s, something like this. Really nice lady. I have nothing against her, except for by the end of this story, I knew that we were not soulmates. We were not connecting at all. So I take the assessment. It has all these questions about why you're at school and your motivation for being at school. And I studied biology. What I really wanted to do was study physiology. But they didn't have it. And I went to St. Louis University, which is a great school. And I took the test, and the motivation part, I scored like as low as you possibly could. Because on all the questions that were like, are you going to use this degree when you get out? Are you going to stay all 4 years? I was like, nope, 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 no. So by the time we got done, we finally had this meeting after I took the assessment test, and she was just like, everything looks good, but I'm a little concerned about your future and where you think you're going to be based on. And I knew I had no intention of staying. I mean, maybe my parents wanted me to go to college, obviously, because that's what people did. That's what you do, right? You go to grade school, you go to high school, and you go to college. I had no intention. The only reason I was studying biology is because I have an interest in science. I find it intriguing. That's it. I didn't really want to become a scientist. It was just there so I could play soccer. I was going to play soccer. That's why I was saying that I wasn't going to be there. On top of that, I don't want to go to any class that I don't want to go to. Why? If you're not going to teach me things that I need, if I'm not interested in them, I don't want to take the class. So when she said, okay, great, you can have this Spanish class, boom, easy A for me. That was why I took it. I said, I want to take an Italian class. I didn't speak Italian. I couldn't speak any Italian at that time, like none. But I said, I want to take that. She said, no, people don't do that. You can't study 2 languages at once. Why? Why can't I study 2 languages at once? Well, you know what I ended up doing is that I had to take math, and I hated math at that time. All throughout high school, all throughout college, I hated math because it sucked. Now I have a great appreciation for math and numbers and all that stuff. Although you don't need to know what a parabola is. Why would I need to know what a parabola is? Okay, if it has something to do with the job that you want, then you need to do this. That's it. We can stop pretending that everyone needs to go to college just to do the thing that they're doing. It's just not true at all, especially now. It might have actually been true in 2003 when I was there, but it's not now because you can Google this. You can figure things out. I still think people should go to college if they know what they want, if you're going to have a traditional job. But if you're going to go there and just study business, why not go to a business, learn how to do this, or do the thing that you want to do, and then keep going? It doesn't make any sense for you to sit and study theory for 4 years or more and then do it. I know, I get it. There's more to it than just that, but you could do both at the same time. You could read and then go do it. It's just going to depend. Some people need that strict level of watching and focus. I never needed that. I don't want that. I don't need it. I've always been intrinsically motivated to learn, and I think everyone should be. And that's actually part of. That's kind of. I can't talk now clearly, but that is something that we try to get across on the YouTube channel as well. Why do you need someone else to push you? If you need someone else to push you, and I'm not saying everybody doesn't need a helping hand every once in a while, some motivation coming from there, but if you're doing a thing and you always are searching for somebody else to help keep you in line, then you're probably not doing something that you want to do. You know, if you have to be reminded to do this, you're not going to go very far, which is perfectly fine. Just figure out what you want and then do that. And then do more of that. And then figure out a way to structure your life so you can do more of the things that you want to do. That's it. That's the key. There's no other game going on. You don't have to be a robot. I remember talking to somebody who said, this is like 2012. And he was like, this is a German guy. Shout out to Germany. He was just like, this is what you do. You study hard, you go to school, you work, and then you go home, you watch TV, and you get up, and you do it. And he was serious. It wasn't a joke. He was like, that's life. That's what life is. Why the fuck is that life? That's not life. For me, it's not. I'm not doing that at all. I don't think anyone, if that's what you want to do, I guess, but I'm pretty sure most people have more of themselves that they can pull out within society, within their community, and they can be more of a help to everyone. I don't know why this podcast is so serious. Clearly, I have some unresolved issues with my academic advisor. at St. Louis University. I don't really, though. I immediately stopped doing what she advised because it just wasn't going to help. I knew exactly what I wanted. I'm one of the lucky people. I realize that now at my age. Most people don't figure out what they want to do with their lives until later. I knew by the time I was 14 or 15, I knew exactly what I was going to do. And I'm doing it. So I'm very, very, very lucky. So I realized that. However, it just takes a little bit of reflection. I'm not saying I was a very reflective kid. I kind of was because I'm an only child. I don't know if I said that already. So I had enough time to reflect. I read a whole bunch. I like to learn. I still love to learn. I read a lot. You can probably, there are books over there that you can see. But yeah, I don't know what I was going to say. I have no idea. Why did we get so serious? What happened? I feel like I got up on a soapbox. Also, I'm pretty sure our camera here, and I'm not 100% sure, so you guys got to just hang with me here. All right, I'm pretty sure it's going to shut off at around the 12-minute mark. Something like that. I hope that it gives us a sound. And if I am not recording, like I said, I'm going to lose my shit. It better be recording because I'm not going to do this again and shut down. That's really what happened. Okay. Anyway, what did I want to talk about? I can't remember right now, but there is something that I wanted to look at. So you guys have got to see this. Let me see if I can find this. There was a time when I remember I read about this. I don't remember when, because what it says here is that this happened in 1998. I don't know. Maybe this happened more than once, but there was an African shaman or team that decided that they couldn't win the game. They weren't going to beat the other team. So they had to summon some voodoo, some sort of mystical thing, and have a lightning strike and kill the other team. And they did it. Okay? This is not science fiction. Allegedly, whatever. I'm not stopping. This is not stopping. We're going. We're going to the 30-minute mark. That's it. And then I'm done. Okay? Calling it. That's it. Now, as I was saying, shaman, all right, Africa, they can't beat that other team. What did that meeting look like? They go back after training one day. They go watch some tapes. We can't beat the Kaiser Chiefs or the Orlando Pirates. Or shout out to Mastafez, my one African team in Morocco. They're like, we can't beat that team. Call Bob. Call Bob the shaman down, right? Get him to do one of his little spells. We'll kill those bitches right on the field. Game over. Is that how it went down? Because I don't understand. And here's the thing. I'm going to throw up. Hold on. Let's see if we can get some sound on this. I Googled it. All right. What comes up? There's one clip. Here's what it says. This is the title of the YouTube video. We'll talk about that in a second. All 11 Africa members of a football team were killed by a bolt of lightning. Parentheses, 1998. That's the name of the video. So if you're not watching this, just click on 11th Commandment. Come over here. Check out the podcast. We'll throw this up right now. We're going to play it. And I'm just going to leave it at that. All right, we're going to play it. We'll give some sound here. Okay. I don't know where these teams are at either. It looks like a decent sized stadium. And like just like that, everybody dead, down. No, I'm just kidding. But honestly, so it says that everybody got killed. This is clearly this is not the actual one that happened. I know that this shit happened. I know some people died from a lightning strike, and that most of them were on one team. And then the theory is that everybody on the team that died were actually just wearing metal studs, which would kind of make sense. But that's too easy. That didn't happen. It didn't happen like that. Something like this happened, and I can't really figure it out. I don't know if it's just all bullshit. I don't think it is. But in this one right here, one of the most ridiculous things, you got to see this. Everybody hits the ground. Boom. It's nuts. But there's one guy, the right back on this one team, he just keeps playing. And they keep playing. And then everybody just keeps playing. And the referee finally figures out they got to stop this. I shouldn't be laughing at this. I don't know why I'm laughing at this. But like people look like they're hurt. I don't know what they would be hurt from. I don't know what it is. All right, I can't play that. I don't know what that sounds like with me talking over. We're not there yet, guys. We don't have a sound technician here. All right. We will have one soon. Titas. Shout out to Titas, one of the greatest editors of all time. The Lithuanian laser. The Lithuanian Lancaster. I don't know what a Lancaster is. Why do things sound so good when they're two L's or two things, right? Like, it's just a principle. I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, you guys got to check out that clip, all right? If you are not watching this, just watch it. I don't know why you wouldn't. Also, where are my notes? All right, I had some notes for this before we went off the rails. We're 15, 16 minutes in, and I can't find my notes. What a disaster. I promise you, all podcasts will not be like this. However, this is the first one. You're just going to have to deal with it. No apologies. All right, but we do have a guest coming on in podcast number 2, Ryan Stock, who is the founder of MindSport. He's this crazy meditator guy. That's a terrible description of him. Okay, so he was a badass basketball player who had some changes in his life that made him drastically, flip it around and start to do something new. And so what he does, he's got this app called MindSport. It's actually an unbelievable app because you as an athlete, if you want to get more out of yourself, then obviously you're training. Obviously you're hopefully eating the right things, but your mind is the last frontier that which should really be the first. And that's what we talk about in podcasts. Unbelievable podcast. There's a ton of value you guys are actually going to get out of that. So check it out. That should be out, I don't know, next week. Let's hope. It's Friday right now at 1:40, 1:41. Let's hope to dear God that this podcast is out on Sunday everywhere, even on video. We'll see. I don't think that's going to happen, but we're gonna try. All right. What the hell was I talking about? The conspiracy. All right, we're gonna move on from that conspiracy. We're gonna try and get into the other conspiracies because I read another one that, and all these conspiracies, honestly, they're fun and 100%. Just like, who doesn't like a good conspiracy? You really think everything is exactly the way they told you? Even history. There are so many conspiracies probably that we will never, ever know the truth of so many things. I'm not even talking about the big ones. We just don't know what's going on at all. The current favorite one is Epstein, which is that really a conspiracy? He clearly did not kill himself. Obviously, he didn't kill himself. Do I have to believe that? They don't have the tapes. They lost them. They lost the tapes. Then they get to some guy who comes on 60 Minutes. He talks about, all right, I'm not going to get into that right now. That's just whatever. He clearly didn't kill himself. Stop it. All right, but I'm going to read you this one. All right, The Hand of God, an inside job. If you don't remember The Hand of God, that's Maradona, 1986, against England. So I think he scored that. That was this goal to make it 1-0. He hits it with his hand. Honestly, on the video, on the tape, you can't tell very well. He does such a good job of putting his hand right next to his head and then hitting it that you really can't tell that well. So I can imagine how the referee just wouldn't see it. Some of the guys on the England team, they clearly saw what happened and they freaked out. And then just a few minutes later, I don't know how much later, he scores the greatest goal in a World Cup ever. What a controversial dude. Still love him though. I don't know what this is exactly. We're gonna dive deep into conspiracies. You're just gonna have to deal with that right now. I don't know if they're really conspiracies or not. Argentinian soccer legend Diego Maradona got away with the equivalent of handball murder in the 1986 World Cup quarterfinal. Yada yada. I'm not reading this. I know what happened. Just tell me is this the conspiracy? That's it? Is that it just didn't get called because the referee saw it? That's not a conspiracy. He could have just missed it. What kind of... That's awful. I'm not even going to entertain that. The lack of call by officials remains a mystery today. Maybe he didn't see it. Did you think about that before making that number 8 on your list? How is that a conspiracy? It's not. Moving on. The Michael Jordan food poisoning theory. Never heard of it. What is going on? The flu game. So some of you guys don't know. I don't know. It's going to depend on how old the demographic of people are that are watching this. Hopefully, we reach some of you older people that know who Michael Jordan is. Is there a 10-year-old that doesn't know who Michael Jordan is? Because they would have no idea, right? You're 10. You love basketball. You know who LeBron James is. You know who Steph Curry is. You don't know Michael Jordan. You definitely don't know Larry Bird. You don't know Magic Johnson. You maybe know Kobe Bryant. I don't know. Anyway, according to Tim Grover, Jordan's former personal trainer, the team ordered a pizza from their hotel room in Utah. Grover says that 5 men delivered the pizza, which is a red flag. Yeah, that's a fucking red flag. Who needs 5 people to deliver pizza? So what was the point? Late at night, and that he and Grover had a bad feeling about the situation. Jordan was the only one who ate the pizza. And later that night at 2 o'clock in the morning, Grover says he received a call saying that Jordan was sick. I mean, so I guess this guy, Grover, is he's the only source for this. But if 5 guys show up to deliver a pizza, you've got to be wondering what's going on. And how come nobody else eat it? You're going to tell me that he was just hungry? And at that time, this is 97? He was already balling. You guys couldn't get him anything else to eat? You just ordered pizza because that's what you needed? Is that what we were doing in the 90s? We were kind of doing stuff like that in the 90s. The 90s was pretty dope. The 90s was badass. Early 2000s were also good. Both of those times were good. And I get it because now it's 2020. And so everything from before just looks awesome. Kind of. You forget all the bad stuff. I don't know. 2020 shaping up to be good. It's going to be good for me. I tell you that right now. Hope it's going to be good for you people. I don't do New Year's resolutions because that's stupid. But apart from that, I'm not getting into that, why it's stupid. It is. You should be constantly pushing for your new thing. It shouldn't have anything to do. Not to mention that obviously the New Year is arbitrary. It has nothing to do with nature. Even the change of season. It's just a weird January 1st. Why? Because it's the first. It has nothing to do with either of the winter solstice, the summer solstice. That would make more sense because there's actual change. Whatever. Let's get down to number 1. Game tanking in the NBA. Why is this all about the NBA conspiracies? There's got to be some crazy soccer conspiracies. The number 1 soccer conspiracy, let me tell you right now. Actually, I don't know if this is number 1, but the one, speaking of the 90s, 1998, Ronaldo World Cup final. What happened? I would give anything to get this guy on the podcast. You think we can get Ronaldo on the podcast? Not Cristiano. I would love to have Cristiano Ronaldo on the podcast. He speaks English. I don't think Brazilian Ronaldo speaks any English at all. And I've met the guy. We spoke in Spanish. And still, I don't think he understood what I was saying. He kind of looked dumb. I don't think he's dumb. I'm not saying he's a dumb guy. If you see this picture, I'll try and throw it up here. He just looks like he looks like nothing's going on behind his eyes. He's a genius, on the field. Maybe not. I think he's not bad. He owns a Spanish team or something like this, or Valladolid. I don't know. You guys want to read this? Should we just find out? This is what they claim is to be the number 1 sporting conspiracy. Game tanking in the NBA. That's not a number 1, though. Match fixing is going on in every sport. I have witnessed match fixing. I've never match fixed. It's never been of any need to me. I don't need to fix a game. I enjoy playing the game. I don't want to match fix. Great. However, I have definitely played in games that have been fixed. I was playing in a game one time in Croatia where the other team, and I can't remember the play exactly. Long story short, by the end of, I think, even the first half, 5 people had red cards on the other team. 5. Like a couple of them had 2 yellows. Now I see that hold on a second again. We're just going to have to hang on. Anyway, 5 red cards. I think that's the point, right? So that'll be, it's either 5 or 6 players. Once a 5th or 6th person gets a red card, the game is over and you forfeit the match. And then you win 3-0, I think. That's what happened. I played in one of those games, the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in my life. I didn't have anything to do with it. I'm just playing the game. I'm just witnessing it happen. However, it was clearly fixed. And then one time I was playing in a game, and I won't say where this is for his sake, even though I don't know what would happen. It's just, Anyway, so listen, we were playing in a game. We lost the game 1-0 on an own goal. Somebody whips in a corner. This guy heads it right into our goal. We lose 1-0. Fast forward next day. Show up to training. Just going to do a nice little jogging stretch. I see this guy. He's in street clothes, though. He hasn't changed. Yo, guy, what's up? What's the deal? And he said, he was almost crying. He was almost in tears. And I don't know if that means he's guilty or if he's just sad because of the situation. But he just basically told me they think that I did that on purpose and they canceled my contract. This guy was making a lot of money. I don't know why he would need to match fix. But at the time, the owner of I don't know if he was the owner of the club. The guy, the president, these guys would roll in 3 Range Rovers, all black. It looked exactly like what you think a bunch of mafia type guys would look like. And I don't know if they got that from reality or if they were trying to do what they saw in the movies or what the case was, but they would always show up, 3 Range Rovers, all black, dressed in suits, huge guys, you know how bodyguards, guys, like their ears and their face are all messed up because they've been bashing on things, or maybe they just go home and just bash their heads on the wall every day. That's how these people would show up, right? Just insane. Nice to me. So I never had any problems, but they just cut this dude's contract. They were just like, nope, we believe that you did that on purpose and you're gone. I have no idea if he did. It really kind of looks like maybe he could have, but at the same time, they whipped it in near post. He just tried to get his head on it to flick it out of the way. It went in the goal. We lost. Oof. How much time we got going on here, guys? I need to figure that out. We got a couple minutes. All right, I'll stay for a couple minutes. There was some other shit that I wanted to talk about, like what are these notes? I swear to God, life would be much easier if I found the notes. Okay, here they are. Match fixing. We just talked about that. Inter Milan. All right, I called it. I don't use Twitter, even though I have a Twitter handle, right? But if I would have, I knew it. All right. Serie A is about to be a switch. Every 4, 5, sometimes longer years, we switch. The top 5 leagues in Europe, they all switch powers, right? Who's going to win the Champions League? All right, it's going to be England for a little bit. All right, Messi and Ronaldo are playing in Spain, so it's going to be Spain for a little bit, and then it's going to shift. It's going to shift again. It's shifting back to Italy. The amount of money that Inter Milan is spending right now in this January transfer window tells you that they believe that something is about to happen. It's going to happen. Then got Ibrahimovic is coming back to AC Milan. All right. It's shifting towards Italy. I will guarantee you that within the next 2 to 3 years, an Italian team will win the Champions League. Maybe even get watch, Ronaldo's going to have to move from Juventus a couple years, maybe something like this. I don't know, a year or 2. Who knows? He's going to go to the MLS. Calling that right now. They're going to replace him with Mbappe, Neymar, something like that's going to happen. All right, and I think it's gonna be in Italy. I think we're going back to an Italian time, and that's what was going on in the 90s, back when Ronaldo was there, Brazilian Ronaldo. That shit was so dope. Those teams were so dope. Zidane, Inzaghi, Del Piero. Those teams were so dope. Those games, the Milan Derby now isn't even that interesting. We don't really care that much. I mean, you pay attention if you're there and in Italy, but the rest of the world just doesn't care because that's just not where the power is focused. It's in England, and Liverpool just absolutely unstoppable right now. They might do back-to-back. I don't know who they play in the Champions League. It doesn't matter. If they play like this and they stay healthy, who's going to beat them? Barcelona? Madrid's definitely not going to beat them. Juventus? No one's going to beat this team. Who's going to beat Liverpool right now? Unless something weird happens, unless it's a fluke. And that's the thing. If it's going to be a home and away, I don't see it happening. You know? They're coasting. They can almost coast right now in the EPL. Wow. Well, I'm just going to talk about something. I really have no idea what else I was going to say. Is that it? Are we just going to call it here? We've been on a journey, my friends. And honestly, the audio version of this is probably going to be better. This video portion for now is just probably a shit show. So I'm still not apologizing for that. You know why? Because it's free. It's free. Right? So all the comments that we get on certain, it's free. What did you do? What did you do? Why do you feel entitled to complain? It's free. So anyway, for those of you guys that do and did enjoy this, please leave us a comment if you're watching this. Review this when this finally gets on iTunes, because you got to do a whole bunch of shows for iTunes because they think they're so special. They kind of are, though, right? Just leave us a good review. Leave us a comment. And make sure to check out the YouTube channel, especially if you like soccer. Check out all the rest of the shows. Check out Biscuits and Tea, another badass podcast on the 11th Commandment Network. Check out Instagram. Shout out to all the stuff. Shout out to... we randomly shout out somebody that we want to come on the podcast? We're trying to get an astronaut to come on Biscuits and Tea. Who did we say? Brazilian Ronaldo? Shout out to Brazilian Ronaldo. If you speak English, come on the podcast. See you guys later. Peace.